10 cringy Prince William moments that shocked the public. Starting off with number 10, cringe dance moves. Let's face it, it's hugely awkward when middle-aged men take to the dance floor to show off their moves. In fact, it's a total dad move. As The Sun reported, Prince William had his own awkward dance experience in 2018, and it was caught on camera. He and his then-pregnant wife Kate were visiting Coventry. They attended the opening of a new training center for nurses, midwives, and paramedics during their visit. And things got a little awkward when the couple took part in a communications training session with the training paramedics. At one point, the paramedics all started doing a bizarre wiggle dance as part of a training game. Kate immediately joined in and looked to her husband as he stood awkwardly in the center of the wiggling paramedics. He laughed uncomfortably before trying half-heartedly to join in. We have to admit, it was a valiant attempt. Nevertheless, it was super awkward to watch. And it was clear that William is not a fan of dancing, even if it's just the wiggling kind. His awkwardness quickly became the most talked about moments of the royal visit. Number 9, George. This next awkward moment is pretty relatable, but still, we have no doubt that it was seriously embarrassing for William. In 2020, William and his family visited the London Palladium to see a performance of Pantoland. As the Daily Mail reported, the prince had to deal with some pretty uncomfortable questions from his son Prince George. As Nigel Havers, an actor in the show, said, Prince William had us all chuckling when he said that his eldest, George, had innocently inquired why everyone was laughing at one of Julian Clary's more risque jokes. It's definitely something any parent can relate to. It's always awkward when a child is old enough to ask about rude jokes, but not quite old enough to understand them. It sounds like William had a seriously awkward conversation with his son after this performance, and as Avers put it, he said it may take him a while to explain his way out of that one. We hope William was able to explain it in a way his young son could understand. We know from all of his public appearances and charity work that despite being royalty, William is just like any other parent. He has to deal with the same awkward moments as everyone else, even if he has to do it on a much bigger scale. Number 8, Emma Thompson. One of Prince William's royal duties is bestowing honors upon recipients, and in 2018, Emma Thompson was honored with a damehood. William was responsible for bestowing the honor by placing a medal on the actress's lapel, and as Thompson explained on the Ellen DeGeneres show, the ceremony didn't exactly go to plan. You get 2 badges, she explained. He had to pin it on, and it's a little bit of a nipple moment, and you go, gosh, I wasn't expecting that. Sounds like William chose the wrong place to pin that badge. Thompson confessed, I made a very loud and inappropriate noise in Buckingham Palace. Awkward. Luckily, Thompson was pretty good-humored about the incident, and she explained to DeGeneres that she had met William several times before, so it wasn't too embarrassing for her. Nevertheless, we're sure William was mortified when he'd realized what he'd done. And though it wasn't his usual kind of royal duty, we can only imagine that this moment is one to remember for both William and Emma Thompson. In addition to pinning medals, William is also the patron of numerous charities. As part of his role in these organizations, he often visits different sites across Britain, and during these trips, William helps out with different projects and activities while learning more about the charity's work. His visits are always well documented by the press, giving people a glimpse into what he does on a day-to-day basis. Last year, during one of his trips, William spoke to members of staff at the Passage Homeless Resource Center in London. And during this visit, he admitted that it was difficult for him to imagine the struggles homeless people face in their daily lives, saying it is hard to comprehend what it must be like. Number 7, not acknowledging Harry. As any royal fan will know, the relationship between Harry and his brother William reportedly began to sour around the time Meghan entered the picture. By the time Harry and Meghan had announced their departure from the royal family, things seemed to be pretty tense between the brothers. According to the book Battle of Brothers by Robert Lacey, the relationship was left utterly broken by Harry's decision. And while we don't know exactly what transpired between William and Harry, we did get one glimpse into the awkwardness between them. In 2020, Harry and Meghan attended their last official royal event. When they greeted William and Kate, they were practically ignored, with William only giving his brother a brief nod. There's no doubt about it. It was an incredibly awkward moment. In fact, the person sitting next to Meghan even jumped in to cover up some of the awkwardness. Yikes. This moment has become fondly referred to by royal fans as Prince William's moment, and it certainly was an uncomfortable one. If we take anything away from this, it's the reminder that even though William is a future king, he's still a human being with feelings. He may have given his brother a brief nod that day, but surely there's still love between them behind the scenes. That said, we can only hope that one day William and Harry will be able to move past this awkwardness and rekindle their brotherly bond. There's nothing quite like the power of family after all. We may not know what happened between William and Harry, but one thing is for sure. No matter what, we will always have William's moment to look back on as a reminder of the complexity of family relationships. It may not be the most pleasant memory to think about, but it definitely gives us an inside look at royal life in all its awkward glory. Number 6, awkward Kate and William moment. It's always pretty awkward when couples' tiffs are made public. For William and Kate, this rarely happens. However, on one occasion, we got a brief glimpse into a potential awkward moment between the couple on TV. During Mary Berry's Christmas special in 2019, A Berry Royal Christmas, the couple were shown chatting with members of the public over a Christmas meal. At one point, William gently placed his hand on his wife's arm, pretty normal for a married couple. Kate, however, immediately jerked her arm away from William. Brief moment, but still the shrug off is undeniable. InStyle even spoke to a body language expert, Patty Wood, about the awkward moment. The pull away was a strong, significant retreat from his touch, and you can see that her hands, held out in a cannon shot formation to calm and protect herself, stayed together the whole dance. Wood explained. Sounds like Kate was just feeling stressed about showing PDA on camera, which may be seen as a breach of royal protocol. Either way, it was definitely a seriously awkward moment. Number 5, falling asleep during a service. We get it, it's easy to get sleepy in church, but it's pretty awkward if you're the future king and you fall asleep in a service at Westminster Abbey. This is exactly what happened to William in 2018 at the Anzac Day service. Unfortunately for William, the whole thing was caught on video and posted by 5 News. In the footage, William can be seen struggling to keep his eyes open, which is pretty funny to watch. And for the most part, the public cut the prince some slack. After all, he was a brand new father at the time, and it was his first royal appearance since the birth of his 3rd child. As people jokingly commented on Twitter, life with a newborn baby. Some Twitter users were keen to stand up for the sleepy prince. One wrote, "Who cares? Leave the poor guy alone. He has a new baby and 2 young children. I'm surprised he wasn't sound asleep and snoring." While we definitely sympathize with the prince, it's still pretty awkward to watch his eyes drooping at such an important occasion. The sleepy royal made it through the service with a few nudges from his wife, and thankfully for him, he wasn't the only one feeling drowsy. Charles was also caught yawning on video. Now that's a pretty precious moment no one will be forgetting anytime soon. Number 4, KFC cravings. When it comes to greasy fast food, KFC is pretty much the ultimate indulgence. It turns out, even William isn't immune to the temptations of fried chicken. In 2020, the prince was caught ogling at KFC window, sending the internet into uproar. According to Express, he and his wife had been en route to visit a photography exhibition when he got a little distracted by the fast food restaurant. KFC managed to capture a snap of the hilarious moment, which they posted on Twitter with the caption, "William whispered quietly to himself, 'Oh, I just can't wait to be winged,' in reference to the famous song from The Lion King. Later, the KFC account commented, 'I'm sad I didn't call him his royal thighness.' It's true, the funny picture presents the opportunity for endless puns and jokes. We bet William will be a little more careful about eyeing fast food in the future. Number 3, BAFTA Awards. Film award ceremonies are usually a chance for celebrities to let off a little steam with a few jokes about their fellow actors. In 2020, William and Kate attended the BAFTA Awards. Unfortunately, the jokes that year may have gone a little too far when it came to the royal family. Margot Robbie, who accepted an award on behalf of Brad Pitt, read his speech, which included a joke about calling the award Harry because, as Robbie read, he's really excited about bringing it back to the States with him. The cameras cut to William and Kate in the audience, both with strained smiles painted on their faces. Apparently, the royal couple weren't particularly pleased. As media commentator Neil Sean told Fox News, the feedback is that many of the stars stepped out of line in front of the patron, which is the Duke of Cambridge. Awkward. Number 2, more awkward dance moves. As we mentioned earlier, William isn't exactly smooth when it comes to performing his dance moves. In 2017, the prince was caught on camera letting loose on a club dance floor, and it's seriously cringeworthy. In fact, TMZ could not stop talking about it, and it's easy to see why. In the candid video, the prince can be spotted all alone on the dance floor, busting a move, looking very much like a middle-aged dad. And finally, number 1, asked about ex-Kate during their very short breakup. William eventually married his long-term girlfriend Kate in 2011. However, the relationship wasn't always smooth sailing. In fact, the couple actually broke up briefly a few years before in 2007. Of course, talking about a breakup is never easy, and for the most part, William didn't have to. That is until one reporter accidentally asked him how things were going with Kate. Luckily for us, his response was captured on video. When asked about his ex-girlfriend, the prince looked seriously awkward and shared an uncomfortable smile with his brother, Prince Harry, before mumbling something about seeing lots of his friends. And that is all for today. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more news on your favorite royals and celebrities. And I'll catch you next time on The Rich Life.